Uh,
Welcome, everyone.
got it.
It is
Yeah.
so exciting to have Christopher Shirley here today talking about what he does as a reflexologist and also how other practitioners in the wellness field can work with reflexologists. Because Alignable is all about networking, working with each other, supporting each other's businesses. And when we know more about what our colleagues do, that helps us work with them. So a little bit of background. Christopher is one of the top reflexologists in Canada. He started in 1978, his professional practice. He also has a background in counseling psychology. He has taught and trained hundreds of students in reflexology. And he recently started a very ambitious online project to basically create a library of reflexology materials. So we'll talk more about that later. Christopher,
Hi.
welcome. So before we start, I know that I have a very minimal knowledge and understanding of reflexology. Miriam, are you any more
Not any more than you. I've
okay?
had it. I've had a reflexology treatment, or what do you want to call it, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed it thoroughly, and I know it's connected, but I am here to learn.
Okay. So what was your experience, Miriam?
It was great. I think the person that did it for me is not exactly a professional, so I have a feeling I'm missing out.
Oh, maybe the opposite. Um, when somebody's doing it because they just love doing it, you probably get a much better quality than somebody who's just paying the rent.
Maybe,
Um,
perhaps. Yes.
perhaps. So, and touch is really important too, and it's a very unique thing for each person. So, depending on the person that you're with and the quality of their touch and how you resonated with that as to what your experience was like. Did you find it relaxing?
I was more concentrated on what she was saying. She was constantly talking about herself and her situation. So I was listening more than
Mm,
relaxing.
okay. Yeah, hopefully a professional would not be doing that.
Right.
Okay. So you had your feet worked on, I assume.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So reflexology, for one thing, can be practiced on the feet, the hands, or the ears, and more recently, the face. And estheticians are getting involved because that covers their pedicures, their manicures, and their facials. They can integrate the reflexology into their professional practice, and that's really great. I don't know how deep we want to go. I also, one thing that Alison didn't mention, I worked and trained in the field of energy medicine quite a bit. So I studied with what was known as the Washington Psychic Institute or the Church of Divine Man, and was doing energy healing and so on. So Miriam, do you do some energy healing as well?
Not hands-on myself. I do cellular health coaching because I promote a product that's has to do with molecules that we have in the mitochondria of the cell, which happens to be the very essence of life. It's energy. It is
Mm-hmm.
the energy that actually keeps us alive. And so 10, 12 years ago, an atomic medical physicist discovered how to replicate that molecule and put it back in the body. And without it, we all life would cease to exist in a matter of minutes. So what we're doing is replenishing it, because after puberty, it starts to decline, and I'm 65 and I need all the energy I can get. And I've been using it for 4 years. It's miraculous. It's done many beautiful, wonderful things for people. And I can't live without it.
Well, you're a very good advertisement for it, because I would never have guessed your age to be 65.
66 next month. Happy birthday to me.
Oh gosh, when we get up in those 60s, we stop counting. I've gone past those into the 70s, I'm afraid.
Oh, you look great.
So, thank you.
So Christopher, how is reflexology different from massage?
In
Good
massage,
question.
you're working on the musculature of the body primarily. Okay. Now, as a holistic practitioner, you can't work on any part of the body without affecting all the other parts of the body. That's, however, the mindset of the massage therapist, the massage practitioner, is to work directly on the musculature and to affect that directly. Whereas the reflexologist, the different parts of the feet, hands, ears, face, correspond to different parts of the body, where there are muscles, where there are bones, where there are glands, where there are organs. We're working everything. In fact, that's part of the problem. We don't know what it is that we're working on when we're working, because there's so many layers. Reflexology started out with the focus on the glands and organs, and that's still to a large extent what we work on. However, a lot of the recent research has shown how effective reflexology is for relieving pain. And pain isn't in the glands and organs. For the most part, it's in the muscles, yeah, and through the nervous system and so on. So when we work on the feet, each foot corresponds to one half of the body, and we're working to reduce stress and tension throughout the whole body. We will be, so Miriam has a foot chart, but we can't see it. Sorry, Miriam. There I can see it. Yeah. Okay. So it kind of, it gets washed in and out when you're holding it. When you move it, it disappears.
Right. What I love about it, it says on the right and the left foot, it has what part of the body it affects. And then in the middle, it says what, like even your solar plexus, all, yeah, still everything.
So I have my own charts that I have published, and they're similar. The beauty of them is that they match. I have one for the feet, one for the hands, and one for the ears. And if you put those up, yeah. Wonderful. That's great. In reflexology, the inclination is to go into much more detail. And I'm inclined, I'm old time, old school. As I said, when we're working on a part of the foot, we can't be absolutely sure exactly what it is that we're stimulating or that we're interacting with. The word stimulate, then you got sedate as the opposite, and that gets confusing because we're not doing either. One of the beautiful things about reflexology is when you interact with a part of the body, you bring it back towards normal. So you don't have to worry about whether you're stimulating or sedating. This was key for me in choosing reflexology as my career. I had a background in acupressure, and I was very intimidated at the time. This was back in the 70s. The medical profession was being very aggressive. and attacking those who are outside of its realm. Yeah, us alternative practitioners. And if I was stimulating something that I should be sedating, that I could do harm, but also get sued. You know, the legal implications. I felt vulnerable to get involved in something when I wasn't 100% sure of what I should be doing and how I should be doing it. The beauty of reflexology is you can't do any harm. You just can't. And if you connect, then you're going to bring the corresponding part of the body back to normal. Dwight Byers, who was my teacher, he just passed away a couple of years ago. He was the nephew of Eunice Ingham, who's known as the mother of reflexology for her work establishing it in the world. And she was based in Florida, so it's a North American thing. And yeah, he used to talk about normalization. One of my problems is I get talking and I forget where I started and what I was originally going to say, but I caught myself this time. Normalization is a big part of what reflexology does. And that's kind of important. It's bringing the body back to homeostasis in more technical language, if you like. So now there's a lot of debate. I just wrote an article for Massage Magazine, and they're going to be publishing it in their March online edition or something. And that's what the editor-in-chief wanted to know. How does reflexology work? Can you tell massage therapists how it works? And I said, nobody knows. We don't know. And there have been a whole bunch of theories about how reflexology works, through proprioception, through counter-irritation, through the power, well, there's the placebo effect, the power of the mind, the power of suggestion, through the immune system, through the nervous system, through the meridians of the body, and so on. Well, research that is being done is pointing towards it working through the nervous system. I'm a little bit skeptical. It's quite possible that it does work through the nervous system primarily, but it's probably working through the energy meridians as well. I don't know that you can work through any one system without affecting all the others. With the meridians and traditional Chinese medicine, I don't know how familiar you are, but they talk about blockages of the flow of energy. Well, we talk about stress, you know, and if you stress a part of your, I don't know if you can see, but when you stress a part of your body, my knuckles turn white, which simply means that the blood isn't flowing to those cells. And when the blood's not flowing there, the cells aren't receiving nutrition, oxygen, the cells aren't getting cleansed. You know, it's breaking down. Now, most of modern medicine is based on the germ theory, and germs, to the best of my knowledge, do not consume healthy cells. They only consume dead cells. So when we talk about disease, I like to break that up into two parts: dis-ease, lack of ease, stress. Yeah. So, yeah.
So Christopher, when someone comes to you for a reflexology session or a series of sessions, Do they also work with other practitioners? Like, would they typically be under a doctor's care for the condition? Would they be receiving other therapies for the condition? Would the reflexology be complementary to other things that they're receiving? Or do you find people tend to just have reflexology sessions?
A little bit of everything, frankly. A lot of people come to reflexology when they've tried a whole bunch of other things and given up on them, you know. And that, well, some people, you know, will arrive and they say, nothing works, but I'm sure you'll be able to fix me. And that brings up a red flag immediately for me, and I would hope for you when you're working with anybody. There are some people who are so attached to their illness, they're not going to let it go, and they're going to prove you wrong. You know, so working in the realm of healing is quite a quagmire. You're dealing with many different personalities and mindsets. So other people are receiving, I don't know, chiropractic care or massage therapy or other therapies, and they want reflexology to complement those. That's a really good thing. So Massage Magazine, a long time ago, so far back that they've put it into their archives and can't find it anymore, they did a survey of massage practitioners who also practice reflexology. And what came out in that survey was that most, at least 90% of the massage practitioners would do reflexology first and follow up with massage, because the reflexology prepared the person to receive the massage. Once they were relaxed by the reflexology, the massage could work deeper. And so that's how they would work. And a second question that they were asked, which kind of fits into your question, was, well, if you only had time for a massage or reflexology, what would you choose to do, and what would your clients choose to have? And again, it was 90% plus reflexology. Forget the massage, just do the reflexology, which was really nice.
Oh, so
for us.
massage is a really good complement with reflexology then.
It can be, yes, for sure. The same with chiropractic. Any manipulation, the more relaxed you are, then the more effective the other therapy will be. And if reflexology can pave the way for the other therapy, that's a really great combination. So if somebody was going for physiotherapy, for example, I would suggest to them that they arrange their reflexology sessions just before they go for their physiotherapy. And that way they would get more benefit from both. Yeah, there's that dynamic there. And a lot of people would just come for reflexology and not feel like they needed anything else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a woman, you know, we all have our wonderful memories of super things that happen. And she came because she had ovarian cysts. And I worked on her on the Friday, and she booked a second appointment on the Monday. And when she left on the Friday and came back Monday, and she reported that she had been nauseous all weekend, had been really unpleasant, uncomfortable. And I assumed that I had just worked her too thoroughly, too effectively, and she was releasing a lot of toxins, although I should have known better, because that usually only lasts for a couple of hours at most, but this had gone on all weekend. Anyway, so with that assumption, on Monday, I did a much lighter treatment and kept it much briefer as a follow-up. And Tuesday, she went for her pre-operative ultrasound. She had had an ultrasound that had identified that she had a cyst that was the size of a grapefruit and completely hid her ovaries. They weren't visible at all, or one ovary anyway. Anyway, so Tuesday she went for her ultrasound and the ovaries were in full view. There was no cyst present. And at the bottom of the ultrasound report, they put, there's no medical explanation for this, which made me chuckle. Yeah, that's because you don't know about reflexology. So what became clear to me was that over the weekend, the cyst had broken up and her nauseousness was the body removing the residue of the cyst. I had a few women come to me with ovarian cysts and had only 2 could bring me the ultrasound reports before and after, but there were some others that got similar results. Also had women that come to me and she didn't get the same results, so nothing is predictable. This is true of all healing, whether it's surgery, drugs, you know, the stuff that we think is the ultimate healing. There's no guarantees. It is all dependent on how the client receives and interacts with the therapy that's being presented. And if a therapy is not working and it's real clear, then the client should move on and try another therapy. That's
so what would
almost
you
a given.
say to practitioners, wellness practitioners, who are either just starting out or they're trying to sort of expand? How would they go about meeting the local reflexologists near them and developing a professional relationship with them?
I would suggest giving them a call
Mm-hmm.
and setting up a meeting. However you can do that, and to introduce yourself initially, but with the objective to arrange maybe an exchange of treatments. I think it's really important for both practitioners to have a feeling for each other. If you're making a referral, if you know 2 or 3 reflexologists in your community, you can sort of guesstimate which one is going to, you know, be most comfortable for this particular client, you know. So going and meeting the practitioner, exchange a treatment so that they have an idea of what it is that you can do and how they responded to it, and you have an experience of what they do and so on. Not all practitioners will be open to that, but I would aim for that because, yeah, the more connected you are with the other practitioners in your community, then the easier it's going to be to make effective referrals. You can ask the practitioner to provide you with information about their service so that you can pass it on to the client. Yeah, the kind of service that the practitioner offers, so what the client can expect and stuff like that. How the practitioner, how to approach them, you know, what to ask for, what to look for. That, I think that is so important, building that network so that you're not working alone in the community. So many of us who are working with quackery, the alternative natural medicine and so on, we're working alone to a large extent. We don't have strong support systems, and if you can build a rapport with other practitioners, spend the time, build that, and then you can refer to each other. You can talk to each other. You can support each other. You can go to the pub together if if that's your thing. Yeah, but you can certainly socialize and hang out together, and yeah.
So in terms of payment, this is something that comes up in the energy healing world. People get very protective of their clients because energy healing, which is what I practice, is not covered by insurance. It's all out of pocket by the client. And, clients typically have, fixed budgets for these types of things.
Yeah.
There's a feeling that, if one practitioner recommends somebody else, well, that's money out of their pocket that's going to be spent somewhere else. Is reflexology covered by insurance, or is there, how do you handle telling this client or patient that they're going to have to spend more money on something?
I don't.
Okay.
That last question, I don't. So as far as reflexology is concerned, there are plans that cover reflexology and cover any kind of healing for that matter, including energy healing. It depends on if the client has one of those plans. Okay, so now insurance companies say they will insure anything. If they can make money on it, they're going, yeah, throw it into the mix. So they have packages for alternative healing, maybe $2,000 a year or $1,000 a year or whatever. But these are made available through employers. Mm-hmm. So the city of Calgary, I believe, provides their employers with a package for alternative medicine. And so those packages are available. Miriam, where are you?
I'm in Pennsylvania as well, not too far from Alison, about an hour away. I'm in Pottstown, northwest of Philadelphia.
Okay, so you're in the US. And I don't know that things are very different in the US to Canada, because what I'm speaking about is within Canada, but insurance companies are all over the world. And I'm sure they have similar policies and similar arrangements with corporations and so on. So, yeah, so reflexology can be covered. It depends on whether the person has an insurance package that covers it or not. There is that fear of losing the client. I think you have to let go of that. Your first priority is what's best for the client. You need to have the client. I like the term sovereign. This is the king or the queen, and we need to serve the king and the queen to the best. So if I'm doing reflexology and the person's got back pain, and I know reflexology might help, but maybe seeing a chiropractor would do it in one session, I got to send that client to a chiropractor. I can't not do that, because I could milk that client for a whole bunch of money. That's not where you got to come from, and you can't be scared of losing money. What goes around comes around, and the more you give, more comes back to you. So refer that person to the chiropractor, and a chiropractor that hopefully you have a rapport with, and encourage the client to say hello on your behalf so they know. But most practitioners will ask, how did you find out about me? This is part of their market research. And Christopher Shirley sent me over to you. And I will get an email thanking me. And And then maybe the chiropractor will send me somebody, or it goes around, comes around, and the more you just got to get past that fear. Fear just blocks the flow. And fear is what we're trying to get rid of in our clients. So if we're carrying it in ourselves, it's not going to work, you know. I'm actually not seeing clients. I'm not set up to see clients where I am. I quit a couple of years ago. So I'm teaching and I'm promoting reflexology and my website. So Miriam, why don't we give you the address? It's www.reflexologyresources.com.
Thank you. I was just going to ask you for that, Christopher. Reflexology.
I'm psychic too.
Yes, you are. Resources.com. I definitely want to learn more because it's all energy to me. Everything's connected. And I
Yes.
am going to be looking for a professional for my next session. This was just a friend, and she used doTERRA oils as part of her treatment, which is fine, I guess. I don't know. But I'm looking forward. Can you tell me, what do you use when you do it? Do you use any oils or
No,
nothing at all?
nothing. I didn't choose to go down that path. If somebody's going to be using oils, then they need to train in aromatherapy. They need to know what they're doing. Rose, for example, is beautiful. It brings up feelings of love, you know. Rose has its traditional value. However, a small percentage of the population, it can bring up rage. And if you don't know what you're doing, you don't want to be bringing up rage, you know.
Wow.
And I use that as an example to scare my students into go get the training before you dabble. And don't dabble with your clients. Refer them to a aromatherapist who knows what they're doing, you know, or get the training yourself so you know what you're doing. Dabbling is not my favorite thing by any means. Now, that doesn't mean I won't share. If I know that drinking water is a good thing to do with people who are dehydrated, I will mention that to somebody and say, but you should go and talk to a naturopath who can really guide you about being dehydrated, you know. Do you know any? And I always turn somebody back to their own resources. When you're making a referral, ask the person, who do you know that can help you with that? Much better that they already have a relationship with whoever they go to, rather than you try and push them in a direction that they're not familiar with. They're not going to go in that direction unless they're really desperate. You know, people don't go down new paths easily. So if they don't have anything, then by all means have your own resources available and talk them up. You know, I think you really like this lady. I had a really fine time with her, and you can share your personal experience of being with that person, and you talk it up, because otherwise they're not going to get there. On my website, I have a section for making referrals. And on that website, I have a list of, right now, I've just got the mainstream natural medicine practices, things like Reiki, massage therapy, physiotherapy, naturopathy, herbalism. And I've got a description of each of those therapies so that the practitioner can go and cut and paste the parts of that description that I've put up that they feel resonates for them. And they can create a page of information that they can pass to their client. And then they can add to that a list of the local people who can serve them and the services that those local people have available. So with some activities like counseling, some counselors do a group session, or they do one-to-one, or they have peer support. You know, they have different kinds of services available. So depending on what the client is open to at this phase, they will be able to choose among the different resources that you share with them. And so you can list their website of the resource, the website, the email address, the phone number, as much information, as many ways of making contact that you can. And does the person offer a free 15-minute consultation by phone or in person or what? Anything that will open the door for that person. Yeah, you want the referral to be successful, you know, and you want to make it as easy as possible for the client to get there.
Christopher, where is that
Yeah.
on your website? Where is the
Well, you have to go to the members area. So talking about my website, when you go to reflexologyresources.com, there's a lot of different sections. On the home page, you've got reflexology related articles, and everything on this website is linked. So one of the links for the articles takes you to Massage Magazine that has a whole bunch of reflexology related articles, and other links to other places where there are articles that you can read, okay? And then there's reflexology videos. Well, if you go to YouTube, you can search, but what I've done is I've taken a whole bunch of reflexology videos and I've created like a library. So if you're interested in children or babies, then you can go to that section and look at the videos related to reflexology for children and babies. Yeah. Or if you're interested in diabetes, there's a section on reflexology for diabetes, and so on and so on. Just like a library, there are different sections. And then I have a listing of all the associations of reflexology around the world. So Miriam, you can find the associations in your state or your country. And
you are psychic, because I was just going to say, by any chance, do you know one near me?
So that's a listing of associations, and you can go to the association, but I also have on that homepage, find a reflexologist. And if you go to that, then it links you to different countries and different states that have listings of practitioners. Okay. And that's the way you can find a reflexologist all over the world. I have many different countries. Well, I have all the countries that I'm aware of that have associations that have listings of practitioners. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. Your website is beautiful. And you don't charge for the members area?
Not yet.
I was going to say, how do you make money? Because you've put a lot of work into this to give this all away for free. I mean, I'm not complaining, but that's a lot of work you got there. It's easy to use, valuable information.
Thank you. Thank you. Those strokes are powerful. They're wonderful. I appreciate them.
It's true, though. It's true.
Yeah. Also, so I have the research is where I started. And again, I have it organized into different categories. And depending on what your interest is, you can find it fairly quickly. But if you went to PubMed and you're looking for reflexology research, it'd be a real headache to find what's available related to pain or anxiety or so on. So very quickly, people can get a picture of how reflexology has been validated or not in the research world. Most of the research is very supportive. Where the statements, it's like more research needs to be done. So, and that's true of anything in alternative medicine because, well, just like clients don't have money to come and see us, we don't have money to do research. You know, we're poverty stricken, in a sense. Research can be very expensive, but the medical profession, you know, you've got to thank King Charles. And I remember he's not prince anymore, he's a king. He twisted the arm of the medical profession. He interfered with their functioning and told them to integrate alternative medicine with mainstream medicine in the UK. And so they did that. He actually invited the CEOs, if you like, the people in charge of the different societies of medicine. That's what they're called. He invited them for supper. I think they left with indigestion. I don't think they ate very much. He said, I don't want you to debate how it can be, whether it can be done or anything like that. I want you to simply go and figure out how it can be done. And they come up and they had, I think, a series of 6 symposia where they invited professionals from all different fields and brought them together and came up with a model for integrating natural medicine with mainstream medicine. And so that has been done in the UK. Professional standards have been established and so on for herbalists, for naturopaths, for reflexologists, all the different alternative practitioners. Consequently, doctors are saying, well, why do I refer to these people? You know, under what circumstances can I refer to these people? Well, we have to do the research, and so the research is getting done, mostly by the nurses. You see, nurses spend time with patients, and if patients are anxious and upset, they're going to be ringing that buzzer and calling for the nurse all the time. But if they get reflexology and they're not anxious and upset, they will slumber away and be nice and relaxed and be easy to manage. Also, midwives and reflexology is very effective for women during their pregnancy and during the birth process, for that matter. So there's a whole school of reflexology around midwifery and pregnancy and childcare. So yeah. So there are areas where reflexology is getting more attention and areas where it's not. Most of the research that's been done has been done on medical communities or populations. So patients who are going for cardiovascular surgery, you know, and that's the subjects. Those are the subjects of the research, and they all have anxiety. And so how effective is reflexology for them with their anxiety? And there are other populations that are evaluated. And so as far as I'm concerned, if it works with alleviating their anxiety, then if you're going for your final exams, it's going to alleviate your anxiety too. It's not too different. Whether you're going for an exam or going for surgery, you have anxiety. And it's, you know, the same kind of process, and reflexology will probably work the same way. So it's nice. I was so delighted. I remember the years when I was wondering how it would ever be possible to get research done on the benefits of reflexology. And I've discovered that thousands of studies have been done, hundreds, I should say, I'm exaggerating. Hundreds of studies have been done, and I've been able to go and search them. And on the title of each research, if you just click on the title, it will take you to PubMed, and you'll be able to see the actual study. So I'm not holding on to anybody. Go, you know, get the information, get the details, get what you need. Know that this is real. I have over 800 publications on reflexology listed as of the date of publication. So that's going back from 1917 to the present. all the books, charts, videos, DVDs, all the things that have been published on reflexology. So you can go shopping in a reflexology mall.
That is a phenomenal resource. Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yes.
Would it be fair to say it's one of the largest collections of reflexology material available online?
I would say the largest
The largest.
by far. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very unique.
So the idea was to create a resource for practitioners. Okay, so when you finish your training, you know, I didn't get myself a glass of water. When you finish your training, so you go out there to work, but you're alone, you know, and who do you turn to for help? So I was going to create a manual for practitioners, but I wanted to keep it up to date for one thing. I didn't want to have to print it and then ship it to people, you know, who wanted to buy it and go through that whole publishing process, find somebody who would publish it and so on. And yeah, so I decided to do it online instead. I was thinking of creating an app, but those cost thousands and thousands of dollars to create
Oh, I
or
can help
something.
you there. There's $79 a month. You can have your own app, passion.io.
Okay. I've gone to a website. So I just decided to go that way. My own website was on Drupal and it was falling apart. And I was told it would cost me, my webmaster told me it cost me about $5,000 to upgrade it to the most recent Drupal. So I decided to cut and paste it all to Squarespace. So I moved it all over to Squarespace rather than pay $5,000 to upgrade it. And so this is not reflexology resources. Anyway, when I was struggling as to how to publish this information that I accumulated through COVID, I did my research during COVID, a lot of it. It kept me busy and out of trouble. So when I did that, my webmaster said, well, listen, Chris, you've worked with Squarespace. Why don't you just upload your new website on Squarespace? And I said, can I do that? Can I get all the things that I want? She said, sure. Well, that's been true, except a search engine. I haven't found a search engine which would function the way I would like it to. I would like a search engine that you can go to and put in a word and find out where that word is anywhere, you know. So diabetes, it can take you to a description of the condition and resources. It can take you to videos. It can take whatever is listed on my website related to diabetes. You can get the whole kit caboodle. The search engine that Squarespace has, either I don't know how to work it properly or it just doesn't work very well. So one day I will get around to looking at that and doing that. But meanwhile, I've just linked everything as much as I can. So yeah, the members area, if you go to the website, you come to a home page and there is a link to a members area. And this is meant for practitioners. And when you go to the home page of the members area, you have to sign in.
Oh,
and that gives me your name and your email address. And it's free. I want to build my following before I start charging. So at some point I will start charging. And so I'm curious, ladies, how much do you think I should charge per year for membership? I want people to use it, so I don't want to charge too much. I don't want to scare people away with the cost, but I do want to have some income.
$1 a day, $30 a month.
Really? I was thinking $10 a year.
Oh, no. Mm-mm. Okay, maybe I'm overpriced, but between $10 and $30 a month.
You see, how often would you actually need to go and access this information? How often would it actually be useful for you? Yeah,
Well, $10 a month is not bad, or $120 a year one time.
yeah, I would discount it for a year, $100 a year.
Right, 100 a year.
Yeah. I'll see what Squarespace will allow me to do. I don't know if it allows me to have options like that, but it does allow me to have a members area. If you go to the members area, are you on the page? Are you following?
Yeah, this is the members. Yeah.
This is nice that there's just the three of us. This is so nice. So if you scroll down, then you come to other sections that are available, and you've got health conditions, online advanced courses and conferences, business and marketing, reflexology chat lines, taking care of yourself. So many healers do not take care of themselves, and that's really important. Ethics and guidance. Are you familiar with Son and Mo?
No.
So if you go and look in here, they have a wonderful book on ethics. It's geared towards a massage therapist, but it's true for any healer. And that term sovereign comes from their concept of ethics. You are there to serve the client. That's your first priority. So when clients came to me, if they had diabetes, I would treat them for diabetes, whether they wanted to be treated or not. If they just come for a spa experience and they just wanted to relax and feel good, I treated them for diabetes because that's what they had. And this was me wanting to do what I felt was best for them. That's not right. If they just want to have a spa experience, I should just be doing a TLC loving, pampering session. But I was determining what I would do for the client, given their health history, given their information. Yeah, anyway, so I learned something when I studied ethics to put this up here. The sovereignty of the client, it's so important. Now, if I know that I can benefit a client who has diabetes, then I can share that with the client as a possibility. But that means you're going to have some discomfort during your session. It won't be a spa experience so much, maybe, possibly, because I will be accessing some reflexes that are probably stressed, you know. And that will be more beneficial for you. You will still be relaxed at the end of your session, but you won't necessarily be in la la land during the whole session. And, you know, I might bring you back from la la land if I need to know something from you in the process of working on you. Because I do need to. Healing is a cooperative process. People heal themselves. We do not heal anybody. All we do is create an environment that is supportive of them getting better.
Repeat that. Healing is a cooperative
process. People heal themselves. We don't heal them.
That's so true.
If they're not open to being healed, doesn't matter what you do.
That's true.
Even you could invoke the Lord himself. He would not be able to heal them if they weren't. Whenever somebody said to Jesus Christ, "Thank you, Lord, you have healed me, thank you." Nope. Did he ever say, "Yeah, I'm a great healer," or "Thank you, yeah, that's true, I did a good job there"? No, never, ever. What would he say? I'm not going to test your remembrance of what you were taught in Sunday school if you ever went there.
Mhm.
He said, your faith made you whole.
That's right.
Mhm.
We need to
That's
be
right.
Jesus Christ. When we're doing healing work, we need to be Jesus Christ. We don't need to be perfect like Jesus Christ, but we need to have the mindset of Jesus Christ. And that is, I don't do anything. You do it all. If
And
you
you,
didn't have faith in me, this would not have happened.
yeah.
Your faith made you whole. You healed yourself.
Do you know about epigenetics? It sounds like I apologize if it sounds like I'm redirecting you. I'm not, because epigenetics is that you do heal yourself because it's the environment that you're in that enables you to self-heal. Epigenetics with Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton. Very interesting.
I haven't gone down that rabbit hole. There are so many rabbit holes in healing. And I am aware of Bruce. I have some of his material. Biology of
Belief.
Yes. So that I'm aware of. Where I've been going just recently, and this is for myself, is Dr. David Perlmutter. If you're not familiar with him, you might want to he published a book, Drop Acid. Wonderful title. Drop Acid. Yeah. Hey, is that ever the new millennium? You know, I mean, that's a great title for a book. He's talking about bringing down uric acid. And uric acid is the result of dehydration. And that's something that I've suffered from. I had kidney stones that turned out to be uric acid stones, but ended up they blocked my ureter tube, and so my kidney got blown out of proportion. It's got all swollen up and never did get back to normal functioning. So I'm on allopurinol to keep my uric acid levels down. I also had peripheral neuropathy. This is very personal stuff, but that's okay. I don't care. You know, I'm a human and I have my failings. So, what caught my just the mention of uric acid, and that this is related to dementia and the nervous system, the functioning of the nervous system, and so on. And this is all tied in with insulin and ketogenesis. I can read it. I don't know how to say it. Yeah. So
we're getting very close to time, actually.
Are we? So we're talking about the microbiome of the body and of the mouth as well, because I've been losing my teeth and I've been looking into that. And there's another doctor that's talking about the microbiome of the mouth.
Yes.
Hydroxyapatite or something, and it's a substance that they put into a toothpaste that replaces fluoride. It's just as effective, but fluoride and all those commercial toothpastes destroy the microbiome of the mouth, which affects the microbiome of the gut and so on.
Fluoride is a toxic. You don't want to use fluoride in the water or the toothpaste. It's a toxic.
Yes, yes. So that's where I've been going personally just recently, and how that's all interconnected. It's exciting for me. Miriam, do you have any questions? Anything that I haven't talked about, that I haven't covered?
No, I found this fascinating. I am kind of glad it's just the three of us. It was more intimate. We got to know a little bit more about you. I love it. I love the website. I learned a lot, and I appreciate the way you make referrals, because I think we all need to connect with other, business owners and work together in that way, which is exactly what Alignable is all about. So
Mhm.
thank you. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
People in your local community, because your clients won't want to travel very far,
Correct.
so look at what's available in the community and see which ones are most likely to be of value to your clients, if you know who your clientele are, and start with one of those and just get to know them as well as you can and see which ones you resonate with, because the people you resonate with are the people that your clients will resonate with, because you resonate with your clients, so yeah, nice connections. And know that, if you refer a client to somebody and they get fixed, wow, it was that angel that sent me there
Mhm.
that got me fixed. You won't get forgotten. And they say,
So
go see Miriam. She'll
yeah, and that leads me to go see Christopher. Is there is there a way we can connect with you? Is there other than your website, do you have an email or phone number?
definitely an email, Chris Shirley.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's on the website. Chris
Oh, okay.
Shirley at pacificreflexology.com. So if I go to the contact page on the website, yeah, the contact page has my phone number.
Okay.
There's a form for email, but yeah, so you can contact me by email as well.
Okay.
But Chris Shirley at pacificreflexology.com. And Pacific Reflexology is my practice, I suppose, my school. So it's what I'm doing in reflexology. And any
Awesome.
questions, Miriam, anytime, any questions you have, feel free, please. Yeah,
Thank you.
Christopher,
same.
thank you so much for coming today and sharing your vast experience and knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.